everyone. Firstly, apologies about the radio silence at the beginning. We were just working our way through some technical issues. It is great to be joined by so many people online, and I'm super excited to be hosting the first Oriflame Talks. So our topic today is losing weight, gaining habits, a roadmap to lasting behaviour change. So my name is Caroline Cummins, and I'm Senior Global Nutrition Manager here at Oriflame. I have a Master's in Human Nutrition, and I'm a registered nutritionist. I work in R&D in Ireland, working on everything from nutrition research, innovation, product development, right through to nutrition communications. And I'm a very proud member of the Oriflame Nutrition Council. And today I'm joined by Professor Claude Marcus of our Scientific Advisory Board. So Claude Marcus is a medical doctor and professor of pediatrics at the renowned Karolinska Institute in Stockholm, Sweden. His research covers the full spectrum of obesity challenges, from prevention to treatment, including behaviour change and treatment of obesity-related diseases such as diabetes. He has published over 300 articles internationally, acts as clinical advisor for multiple organisations, and in 2005, he initiated the Swedish National Quality Registry for Childhood Obesity. Professor Marcus has been a member of Oriflame Scientific Advisory Board since 2022. And in Oriflame, we work with this board to help steer and fuel ideas for innovation, product development, nutrition research, and our offering to our brand partners. So Professor Marcus, you're very welcome here today.
Thank you.
So today we're going to speak about weight management, an area which is very close to your heart. But just before that, I'm going to give a very quick introduction into what actually overweight and obesity is and some trends around the world. So firstly, overweight and obesity are characterized using the BMI chart, and this is body mass index. So essentially, this characterizes if a person is underweight, of normal weight, overweight, or obese. It is calculated by taking your weight in kilograms divided by your height in square meters. And here we can also use it, we can also characterize it using this chart. So here you can see on the chart that underweight in yellow is marked by a BMI of below 18. A BMI between 18 to 25 is classified as normal weight, and that's in green. A BMI over 25 here in orange is classified as overweight, and a BMI of over 30 is classified as obese. So an example here is if your height is 165 centimeters and you weigh around 80 kilograms, you can see that your BMI is around 29 here, and that is classified as overweight here in the orange category. Now, body mass index is quite a rough, a crude measurement, so it's always good to have other measurements to really look at what body composition is. And waist circumference is a really excellent measure here. In general, we want men to be below 94 centimeters when it comes to their waist circumference, and for women, a measurement of below 80 is deemed as healthy. Professor Claude Marcus is going to speak a little bit more about the risk of having a high waist circumference and a high BMI later. But firstly, let's look at trends of overweight and obesity throughout the world. So according to the World Health Organization, worldwide adult obesity has doubled since 1990. And very worryingly, adolescent obesity has quadrupled since that time period. As you can see here on this map, rates of overweight and obesity are denoted by colour, ranging from light green right the way up to dark blue. The darker the blue, the higher the rates of overweight or obesity are within that specific country. And you can take a look at your own country later on at this map. It's an interactive map and it's found on the World Obesity Federation website. But here I've just marked out some countries and what the rates are today. As you can see, in many countries, rates of overweight and obesity exceed 60%, which is almost 2/3 of the population. So really, really affecting many countries. India is very interesting as well. Although it seems a little bit lower at 30%, this rate has increased hugely in the last number of years. When we look back at data, 10 years ago, rates are around 20%. So to have increased by 10% in such a small time period is hugely worrying. And also another interesting fact from India is that although BMIs tend to be quite low, waist circumferences tend to be quite high, which also carries a huge risk. So whether or not overweight or obesity affects you personally, it is definitely affecting the market that you're living in. So, against the backdrop of these worryingly high trends of overweight and obesity, let's begin our discussions. I'd like to ask Professor Claude Marcus, what are the risks when it comes to being overweight and obese?
Thank you. Thank you. It's very nice to be here to discuss these things with you. And overweight and obesity, it has severe consequences because it will, with a high risk, affecting your future life in many aspects. If you look at the effect of overweight and obesity on the body, we can say that almost all organs in the body will be affected by this. This is primarily due to that when you are overweight or becoming obese, you get a chronic inflammation in your body. And this chronic inflammation will in turn affect almost everything. So there are many risks associated. What most people know is that type 2 diabetes is coming for many people who are overweight and obese, but also many cancers are increasing, and the inflammation will also increase the risks for other diseases such as multiple sclerosis, uh, joint problems, arthritis, asthma is increasing together with obesity and overweight, etc. So there is a huge number of diseases that are affected by overweight and obesity.
And as you know, we are a beauty company. Does overweight or obesity affect the skin in any way?
Yes, as I said, almost all organs are affected, and also the skin. Uh, because when you become overweight or obese, your hormone balance will be affected. And this will in turn also affect the skin. There's an increased risk that your skin will be more oily and you will get more pimples due to this imbalance between different types of hormones, sex hormones and other hormones. And you can improve your situation also here with weight loss. Uh, so it is the same thing that you can improve your skin health with physical activity, because that will also affect your hormonal balance in a positive way. So both weight loss and physical activity is good for the skin.
And what are the common mistakes or challenges to losing weight?
Well, as you know, it is extremely tough to lose weight. So there are many common mistakes going on. I would say that the first one is yet that you need to commit yourself. You need to decide really from your heart that I will do this, because it is extremely tough to lose weight. But if you really decide that you're going to do it, then that is the first step that is of major importance. The second step is to make a plan. Not only look at the net, try to find a method and then stick to that. You need to define what's possible for yourself to do in real life. That means that you need to decide uh, what you're going to change, because you have to change continuously many things, but you have to start somewhere and you need to decide what's possible for you. I mean, if you love ice cream, don't stop with all ice cream. Stop with things that are less necessary for you, for example. So you need to use your common sense and try to identify who you are in this case. And I think that is, again, a common mistake, that you don't do this. The third, I would say, is that you need to be patient. You start to do something, you don't lose weight in the way you expected, and then you skip it. Uh, so that's, I think, reasons why so many fail, that you don't do it thoroughly and you don't stick to it for a longer time period. But again, you need to remember that you have to do changes. There is no way to lose weight without changing things. Although people think that you could do that. Another thing that many people think is that you can lose weight by being more physically active. And of course, physical activity is of importance, and you lose more energy when you are physically active. But we are so energy effective, so that means that we don't need that much energy to be physically active, and it is so easy to eat just a little bit more to overcompensate for your physical activity. So you need to focus on eating habits if you want to lose weight, and not start with physical activity.
So I think the main message is that nutrition is king and physical activity is queen when it comes to hierarchy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I also wanted to ask you about what's very much on trend now are the new treatments for weight loss. What is your take on them?
Well, I think they are very good. This is the first time we have something that is really effective without too much of negative side effects. And these drugs, as you can see on this picture, they have to be injected, although there are oral preparations as well, but they are not as effective. Uh, these drugs, they reduce the appetite and also reduce the emptying of the stomach. And these things together makes it easy to lose weight. For many, this is very good help. In adults, it has been shown that they who are using this drug, they are losing around 16 to 18% of their body weight in a year. And that is amazing. That means that for many people who consider weight surgery, this can replace it. But of course, this is a drug with some side effects, so it's not to be used if it's not really necessary. And we know that you can lose weight without drugs as well. Uh, in one study where we participated, an international study, uh, the patients got either placebo, that means that they get a drug injected without any effect at all, and 50% of them had this active GLP-1 agonist. And the patient who lost most weight in this study worldwide, she was a girl who lost around uh, 20% of her weight. And she did this on this placebo, this not effective drug. We were a little bit concerned first that she should be angry and felt that we had fooled her in any way, but no, she was extremely happy. She did this herself without any drug, and that I think can tell you something, that it is possible to lose weight if you really believe it without any drugs. But again, the combination of this will and the drug is good help for many people.
That is fascinating to hear that. So somebody who is essentially taking a dummy pill or a dummy injection actually lost the most weight. So the power of behavior change and motivation overpowers any drug out there, which is, I think,
Exactly.
really, really inspiring. And can you tell me a little bit about weight regain on these drugs? People lose weight, but do they keep the weight off?
No, I think that is the major concern with all types of weight loss, that there is a risk that you gain weight when you stop doing what is done to lose weight. And you can see that when you stop these drugs, that uh, patients increase their weight during the year after. 60% of the weight is regained after 1 year. So that is extremely disappointing. That means that you need to do something more, not only taking this drug, you need to change your behavior, unless it is meaningless to use this drug. So you need to combine it with other things as well. But again, that is the problem also after bariatric surgery or obesity surgery, that you increase weight some years after surgery. So this is common for all types of weight loss.
And I suppose then that leads on to my next question. What are your top tips for weight loss that actually lasts?
Well, that is a tough one, as we know that many
Mm.
people gain weight again. I would say that one of the major things is that you have to change your daily life. You have to do things differently than you did before, and you need to stick to that. Otherwise, you will sooner or later gain weight again. And one way to really check this, it is to follow your weight. That means daily weight measurements. And this is extremely good, because then you see if you have an upward trend that you need to stop. The other thing that is extremely important uh, is the most boring things, that you need to live in a consistent way. You need to eat the same time every day. You need to uh, do this throughout the week, because when you have this regularity, you have much easier to handle your appetite, because we are programmed to become hungry when we are supposed to eat. And that means that if we're not eating then at that time, then there's a risk that we overcompensate by eating more. So we really lose our control if we don't have these regular meals. So I would say that these two things: check your weight daily, uh, and stick to your meal plan. You don't need to decide before if you're going to eat 3 times a day, 2 times a day, or 5 times a day. The thing is that you need to do this in a consistent way.
And when it comes to nutrition, have you any top tips of what you should be eating or not eating, for instance?
Yeah, I think this picture tells you everything, doesn't it? You need to uh, eat more food that is not so energy dense. You need to eat things that is uh, healthy for you, and that means vegetables and fruits as a very important basic topic. Uh, Whole grain bread is also very good. It increases the fullness, and it's easier not to eat too much. Uh, Another very boring tip, it's to eat what you don't like so much, because when you eat what you really like, then there is a tendency that you eat a little bit too much. So if you, during ordinary days, stick to things that is not extremely appetizing for you, then it's easier to keep your weight.
And even
And
if
then
you're,
you, yeah, yeah. Uh, On this slide, you can see on the bottom something that also can help you. It is meal replacements. Because these meal replacements, then you know exactly that you don't overeat. You eat exactly the amount you're supposed to do, and there is no risk that you take more. It's easy to handle. You don't need to say, okay, I haven't time to make any meal now, so I take a snack on the go instead. So I think meal replacements are good as add-on if you want to both lose weight and if you want to reduce the risk of weight regain.
and would you think even when on some of these new drugs, is nutrition important in dietary habits?
Indeed, it is. If you combine these drugs with good eating habits and with meal replacements, you really have a much better chance to get a really considerable weight loss. So there are some studies on that, if you combine these types of meal replacements with a low calorie intake, you can really get impressive weight loss results.
Brilliant. And what about a holistic approach as well? What are your thoughts when it comes to the other factors that can affect well-being?
Yeah, I would say that all factors that uh, are affecting your well-being will also affect your risk of weight gain and your capacity to lose weight. There are direct effects of sleep on eating habits. If you have irregular sleep, you will be more hungry and you have a tendency to eat more sweets. So yes, it is important. Physical activity as well. Physical activity has a small effect on weight loss, but still, when you are running, it's difficult to eat in the same time. And it's also good because it will improve your mood, and it will reduce the risk of depression. And we know that depression in itself increase the risk of overweight and obesity. So it has indeed very important effects.
Very interesting. And so the next part of the presentation is really just looking at how Oriflame can support consumers on the transformative weight loss journey. And our well-being philosophy, or our philosophy, is to help create healthy daily routines for people. And so we do this by bringing together healthy lifestyle advice, holistic product solutions, support, and education. And when it comes to holistic product solutions, we have our meal replacement. And this is a really convenient and effective weight loss tool. It's easy to use, convenient, and offers high quality nutrition. Depending on your weight goals, it replaces 1 to 2 of your 3 main meals per day. Professor Marcus, you spoke a little bit about meal replacements previously. Can I ask you, how do they help people to lose weight?
They are important. There are lots of evidence about that if you combine a more healthy lifestyle with meal replacements, you have a better chance to be successful in the weight loss. And it's quite natural that it is so, because there is no risk of overeating. Otherwise, whenever you eat, there is a risk that you eat more than you are supposed to do. But here you have a portion, you have exactly what you need. You know that the content is good for you. You know the balance of it is good. So you don't need to think, maybe I should take something more so I really cover my need of vitamins, etc. You don't need to think that. So I think there are many ways meal replacement can help you to lose weight and maintain your weight.
Brilliant, thank you. And I think one of the main issues as well on a weight loss diet is people not eating enough vitamins and minerals, and then this can lead to deficiencies. And what's great about meal replacements is that they contain vitamins and minerals that are essential for supporting energy metabolism, tiredness and fatigue, cognition, immunity, and oxidative stress, to really help support energy when on a weight loss or weight maintenance diet. And there's also scientific research to show that meal replacements are more effective than conventional dieting at losing weight. And when a meal replacement is combined with an enhanced support, such as advice from a nutritionist, advice around physical activity, behavior change, and weekly meetups, even more weight is lost. And what's really great is that this weight is kept off long term. So, Professor Marks, I just wanted to ask, what is your experience with meal replacements alongside such support within your practice?
Well, we have worked quite a lot with that, and the combination of meal replacement with group sessions and individual sessions. And my experience really support these data that the combination of meal replacements and support is excellent for continuous weight loss.
And in Oriflame as well, we have looked at this science and really built it within our whole philosophy. We very much take this holistic approach around the synergy between healthy diet, physical activity, sleep, mental well-being, and social connection, and how that is a foundation for well-being and also healthy weight management. And this holistic approach is very much brought to life through the wellness clubs. The wellness clubs are a physical or an online place for a group of enthusiasts who want to live healthier or lose weight. They meet every week for 12 weeks to learn about healthy habits and achieve their health goals together. The wellness clubs are run by brand partners who have completed a certified wellness club coach certification. Professor Marcus, what are your thoughts on this approach to lasting weight loss?
I think this is a brilliant initiative because it's much easier to handle these problems as a group, and it's much easier to support each other if you build up these types of groups. So I think this can really be supportive, and I guess if it is a good coach handling this, that it also can be a very positive way to handle these terrible problems that weight loss always are, because it is so tough to handle the weight. So if you in different ways can make it a little bit more positive, I think it is wonderful.
I think it's a great way as well that leans to motivation. And we spoke about that earlier about the lady who took the dummy pill, but ended up getting the greatest weight loss in that clinical trial. The power of motivation and togetherness can really, really help people on this journey. So thank you. I wanted to just summarize today's main discussion. And we spoke a little bit about the challenges, but really wanted to focus on the positive steps that people can take when it comes to a sustainable weight loss journey and that roadmap to lasting behavior change. So we know that regularity and consistency is key. Optimal nutrition as well, high protein, high fiber to help enhance satiety. Meal replacements can be a really convenient way here too, whether or not you are using any of those new medications. And then, of course, the holistic approach, which encompasses physical activity, sleep, mental well-being, social and community, are really key to help that behavior change last, and so that that new lifestyle is really implemented long term. Professor Marcus, do you have any final thoughts?
Well, I would say again, to lose weight is very difficult. It's tough for everybody. So you need to be patient. You need to understand that it takes time. And also remember that when you fail, when it doesn't go in the right direction, then it is also a chance to learn something. From that, you maybe the next time you're trying to do a weight loss program in one way or another, you have learned what didn't work for you. And that can be something that you can use. So be patient, work with the long term, and try again when you are motivated.
Thank you so much, Professor Marcus, for sharing your time today and sharing that really, really valuable insight for us. I know I've definitely learned a lot, and I feel extremely motivated for everyone who's joined the call today.
Thank you very much.
Before anyone hangs up, I'd like to please ask you all to fill out a survey as well. We really value your feedback. I promise this shall be very, very short. So if you can click on the link and submit that survey, it would be really appreciated. I'm also really excited to promote the next Oriflame Talks, which will be on in 2 weeks' time, April 3rd, same day, same time, so Wednesday, 3 o'clock Central European time, and it will be hosted by Luis and Carolina, and they will be hosting the Oriflame Sharing App Masterclass. Thank you everyone for your time today, and thank you again to Professor Claude Marcus. Bye now.